Do I look pretentious now? Hey guys, and welcome to a weird start to the 13 Days of Halloween. Review videos are kind of something I wanted to do for the channel, but never really got a good chance to do it. But then I found out that Tame Impala had a brand new album releasing on October 17th, and I was like, you know what? That would fit right into the 13 Days of Halloween because there's like one song that relates to Halloween. So I got hyped for it. It's been 5 years since the last Tame Impala album, and I listened to it. Now, what did I think of it? Well, that's what this video is going to talk about. But before I get into that, let me tell you guys how I'm going to structure these review videos. So what I'm going to start with is if the artist has had albums that have released before this one, then I'll include ratings of those albums that I gave. And then after that, I'll give some quick general thoughts of what I thought about the album, and then I'll go into a track-by-track review, which will give some detail as to why I rated a track a certain way. And then after all that, I'll close it out with the album rating. So without further ado, let's start off with my ratings for Tame Impala's previous albums. And you know what? I'll include his EP that he released back in 2008 just cause. You ever wonder what the Beatles would be like if they weren't mixed properly and were just straight up not good? Well, you don't have to wonder anymore. There's a very interesting sound going on here on this album. And you know what? I could totally see this being someone's favorite Tame Impala album, but I mean, most of the time he's just throwing sounds out there and whatever works, works. Guys, most of the songs on here are great, if not amazing, but like, how do so many people like be above it, bro? Like, that song is legit bad. Hey, that's my goat. He takes a little bit more of a pop stance on this one, but I mean, I like it. Okay, so now that you guys are caught up with the ratings, let's get into Deadbeat by Tame Impala. Now, did I like this album? Yes, but I was severely disappointed. The whole thing with this album is that he switches out the psychedelic pop sound for dance pop. I do not think this was a good decision. Now, I can see him going that route because he's trying to mask the depressing themes of the album by, having the juxtaposition of dance music with like sad themes. But like, that's not even really the case because the themes are just mostly like standard pop. I want to have this girl and like some things happen and I can't have her sometimes. Oh yeah, and being self-deprecating and all that. And that leads into a problem that I have with the album, which is that like he doesn't dig deep enough. And also, the lyrics are among some of his worst. Like, I never thought of Tame Impala, aka Kevin Parker, as a great lyricist. Like, even on Currents, the lyrics are pretty simplistic, but the simplicity adds honesty and makes it personal. But on Deadbeat, like, it just sounds lazy. So now that I've given you a little insight on where my head's at, let's go into the actual tracks themselves. So the first song, Mile Ways, starts off with like a piano rendition at the beginning. Then it leads into a dance pop tune, which, it's pretty good. But immediately I noticed, like, it wasn't among Tame Impala's usual quality because usually Tame Impala does great songs and this was just, like, pretty good. And I did knock it down a little bit just because when he's actually doing the piano and he's, like, singing, his voice is, like, so distant. Like, it's like somebody recorded him doing it from, like, far away. And that just doesn't, like, it doesn't work well. But again, guys, still a good song. Just, that's why it's rated that way. So on to the second song, which is titled No Reply. And this is where Tame Impala's lyricism starts to take a drop. And it's not just the cinephile line, which I know you guys are all thinking of. And that is the worst line of the song. But like, the whole lyrics of the song are just extremely basic. It's about like how he's trying to be social and connect with people. But like, the lyrics, again, are extremely basic for the theme. Like, I nearly almost didn't like this song, but I raised it a little bit because the piano was brought back at the end, and I like the piano. Okay, on to the third song of the album, Dracula. Now, I'm pretty sure this was the most popular single from the album and the most highly reviewed song from the album. And, I did think it had the potential to be, like, a great song, but the lyrics, man, like, they are just so basic again. So still pretty good, but like, again, guys, like it is just a dance pop song. Like the reason why I like so much of his other songs is because like it was this like flourishing sound, and here it's just like standard dance pop. Moving on to the fourth song of the album, we have Loser. This started off as being pretty good. I dug the instrumental, like the strings, and it seemed like he was getting back into his psychedelic sound. However, All his self-deprecating lyrics about him being a loser is just too cringy for me to like, bro. Still a good song, but I had to knock it down because of that. But you know, I haven't disliked any song in the album yet, so let's see where that takes us. So here we have the 5th song of the album, Oblivion, my least favorite song on this album. Now let me know if I'm wrong on this, but like it seems to start off with like this Latin drum beat, kind of groovy, but like there's nothing there besides these disjointed electronic sounds. Like they sound so amateurish. They're just like boom, 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 boom. Like Kevin, bro, you have been working in the industry for almost 20 years. Like what is this? So I already don't like the song, but the saving grace, the lyrics are not bad in my opinion on this one. Now, from his previous songs, I've seen him have a habit of like being more of tell, don't show. Here, I think he's showing enough to where the lyrics are suitable. So not going to knock down any points for that. But what I am going to knock down points for is the lyrics not matching up with the instrumental. I hate when any artist does this, like Rigor Mortis by Kendrick Lamar. He just starts like rapping past any of the instrumental beats of the song. By the way, it's still a pretty good song. It just could have been amazing if he didn't do all that. It's like he's just singing in his own tune and then the instrumental is just completely different. So I don't like any of that, but I do like when at the end of the song he gets into like chorus mode and just like, I would, or something like that. So yeah, there you go, my least favorite song of the album. At a close second though, we had the 6th song of the album, Not My World. The instrumental here is just basic electronic beats, so like not really the best. And on this song, his flow of the lyrics not matching up with the instrumental is very much audible on the beginning of this track, bro. Like, I'm nearly convinced that he wasn't listening to the beat when he recorded those lines. So taking out points for that, and taking out points for the fact that these lyrics go back to being not good because they're underdeveloped and they don't dig deep enough. There's themes in here like feeling alienated from the rest of the world and trying to find meaning in life. But the lyrics are so short and underdeveloped, like it makes me even think, like, why even bother? But what saves it from being a straight up bad song is I do like the beat switch halfway through the song. Camera fell, sorry about that. So anyways, I still don't like the song, but the beat switch does save it from being my least favorite song on the album. And right next to that, we have my favorite song on the album, the 7th track, Piece of Heaven. Now, this is a song that sounds like it would belong on the Slow Rush. He definitely brings back the psychedelic influences on this song while balancing it with the dance pop genre. Genuinely would have been on par with most of the songs on the Slow Rush. However, the lyrics, man, the lyrics. Now, the whole song is basically just about being with this girl and being, like, in her bedroom and, like, a sense of euphoria. Y'all can pick up the pieces on that, but, like, again, he could have dug so much deeper into, like, detailing, like, the feeling of being euphoric. But no, he just says it and just repeatedly says, I'm in your bedroom, which is low-key kind of creepy. But again, I'm really digging the beat here, and it's still a pretty good song in general, so that's why it's my favorite on the album. Moving on to the 8th song on the album, we have Obsolete. Honestly, not much to say here. It's just a pretty good dance pop song. The only thing I will comment on is that the instrumental low-key sounds like something I would use in the background of my YouTube videos. That's not a negative or a positive, I'm just commenting on that. Now moving on to the 9th song, we have Ethereal Connection. This was the song I was most divided on. In the end, I decided I didn't like it, but let me explain why. Kevin goes full rave on this one, like it keeps on repeating the same loop, but the loop goes hard, like it gets you like pumped, like oh my goodness, where's this song going? And it doesn't go. He builds up the beat throughout the song, and it's a long song sitting at 7 minutes. But he builds it up, and even the build-up is kind of underwhelming, but he builds it up until the beat drop where the song just kind of continues. So overall, it just like wasn't that good of a song. I did give it extra points though, because when Kevin actually starts like saying words, the beat like fits with it, so it actually sounds good. But it's not enough for me to like the song. On to the 10th song of the album, See You on Monday. This is kind of like Obsolete, where like there's not much to say here, but like this is just like not that good of a song. The electronic beat is basic, the themes are basic, the lyrics are actually not that bad this time though. But I'm also giving it extra points for that piano at the end just because I like the piano. Now we're at the penultimate song of the album, Afterthought. Again, not much to say here, just a pretty good dance pop song. Although I do like it like a step higher than Obsolete, and the lyrics again are not that bad on here. And now we get to the last song of the album, End of Summer. This was the first single he came out with, and I heard it here and there, but I didn't want to listen to the full thing because I like listening to the full songs when the whole album comes out. And after listening to it, I thought it was pretty good. And listening to a lot of it already, I kind of thought this was going to be better than Piece of Heaven. But then the high-pitched vocals come in. What are we doing, Kevin? And he uses it again at the end of the song. Like, it does not sound good. It sounds cringe. So you better believe I took points off for that. But I did not take any points off for the lyrics. You know what? He wasn't that bad this time around. I know I kind of sound hypocritical from what I said at the beginning of the video, but what I was saying was true. Like, this album has some of his worst lyricism yet. But it doesn't appear on all the songs, so it's not like this album is terrible because of that. But anyways, that concludes my track-by-track review of the album. Now let's get into my final thoughts of the album. I think there's a lot of good sounds on here for a dance pop genre, but Tame Impala, who's like known for that psychedelic pop sound, like throughout all of his albums, like he's basically had that sound like somewhere in there. And it is still in here as some parts, but like this is the least he's ever dealt with it. Like nothing blows me away here. And on the other albums, like I can pick out clear standouts. There's just like really nothing special about it. It's just a dance pop album through and through with basic themes about romance and such. But as much as I'm criticizing this album, it does do what it needs to do. Like, the sound is catchy. It does somewhat juxtapose the depressing themes that it has. So overall, I would give Deadbeat by Tame Impala a 6.5 out of 10. Just a decent album. Nothing more, nothing less. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review video. I've really wanted to make one of these for quite some time. If any new releases come out that you guys randomly want me to review, just let me know in the comments and I'll try to get to that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and look out for the rest of the 13 Days of Halloween videos. I forgot to tell you guys I also pre-ordered the vinyl. This is now 36 for those of you counting.